Thank you, and appreciate you gentlemen coming forward with your concerns. It's very interesting. Mr. Neumann, you've made some statements, especially about the steel industry with Hamilton, which I represent, Hamilton Mountain, and I know my colleague, Mr. Sheehan, up in the Sioux. The problems that we're having with the steel industry, and you made the statements, and it could be the dumping of steel, and it's some trade barriers that we're having. Has the government been of any assistance to date on any of those to municipalities, SR and U.S. Steel, to help out, been of any kind of assistance to date to bring those jobs and get those companies back on foot? And if they have, what are they, and what is it that you need from the government today to help solve this steel crisis?
Well, thank you for the question. As I said in my submission, is that we've had a very engaged provincial government in Ontario working very closely with us with respect to what's happening up in the Sioux and also within Hamilton. We've had the opportunity and the pleasure to meet with the Honourable Navid Baines back in April, and very conciliatory, very open, and recognized the importance of a very strong steel industry. We had some follow-up meeting with some of his staff on June the 14th here in Ottawa that talked about what some of the issues were. We talked about dumping. We talked about some of the regulatory issues that are at hand. I've just sent off another letter just a few weeks ago at the end of last month requesting another meeting, because we're now getting into that stage where we've got some potential buyers that are in play, and we're hopefully trying to be in a position to get these two facilities out of CCAA, which they've been into for a long period of time. What we're looking for is and having said that, we've not had any assistance from the federal government this time, but like I say, we've had a couple of meetings. We've now requested the third, and I'm hopeful very soon that we will have that meeting. What we're really looking at, because we want them to be engaged in the process. This is a crucial industry of some $14 billion with 22,000 direct jobs, and if you do the add-in factor of another 5 to 1, I mean, this is very significant. I think the federal government acknowledged that. So we need them to be engaged in the process, because there's some issues there. There are some tax issues, and there's also some environmental issues, which I'm sure that they can be of assistance in some form or fashion. The other one, we'd like them to also consider CapEx. The fact is that there's some major investment that's needed, and I don't want to go through what happened when the former government allowed U.S. Steel to come into this country. To me, that was not a net benefit for Canada whatsoever. They went off to the side. They signed this secret deal with no involvement from the community, no involvement from the workers, and the reason we're in that particular difficulty. But there is a serious need at one of the most modern facilities in North America, which was built in the mid-1970s, is the integrated mill at Nanticoke. You got the blast furnaces there that need some relines, and those relines don't come very cheap. We think that that's a CapEx situation that the government could very much be an assistance. The third thing that we have to get back to is that we have to need some assistance in training and adjustment. We need skills for the modern industry. I mean, it's high tech. I mean, the steel industry is high tech, and we now recognize that baby boomers are retiring and all those sorts of things, that we need some assistance in that. I go back to the days in the steel industry when we had CSTEC, which was a sectoral council. And the good that has done. It wasn't just CSTEC, we had a whole bunch of other sectoral councils. So those are the three areas that we think that the government needs to be engaged in. And again, we look forward. I'm very hopeful that in the very near future that we're going to have another opportunity to meet with Minister Baines to talk about these issues, about the crucial, because we've been working day and night more recently in regards to we have some potential buyers, and this is not an easy task. This is not an easy task considering what has transpired in the steel industry. Last year and a half for some of those retirees, and you know the circumstances very well, that you got 20,000 of those retirees that had their health care benefits cut out. These are people that have toiled. These are people that have helped build this great country of ours, and there they are, and when they're in the most need, knowing full well, and they went into those industries, that they would have being looked after with respect to their benefits. So it's a serious crisis, and we have to move forth with that.
Okay, then I'm running out of time.
You've run out of time.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
But thank you very much.